Well, TGIF. Getting ready to head over to meet the guys, have a burger, and you know, my garden's looking pretty good here. Had the day off and didn't get a whole lot done, but I switched the exhaust on the buggy. Got our priorities right. Got the 2-liter on there. Had me some little dingle balls. Put on the desert tracks just for show. They're not really street legal DOT tires, but thought I'd dress her up. Not really a show and shine, but kind of showing off our stuff, you know. Got the noisy exhaust on here. So anyhow, maybe there'll be some cool cars there. I'll try to get some pictures. And I'll get started on this garden tomorrow. Yeah, right. You're doing a hell of a job. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, baby. Pride of ownership, by golly.
Yeah. This is a full-time job.
That doggone dust. Yep. Not to mention black.
Yeah.
My dad had one of these. Got it brand new. Was the 4-door 63, and had the 390 in it.
Yeah.
And he loved that car. Got those the clear seat covers.
Oh yeah.
Remember that was the big rage?
Yeah.
I mean, no air conditioning. You'd stick to those son of guns, and it turned the upholstery yellow, and it was just awful. He put pieces of carpet over
Good plan.
over
Didn't
them.
work out so good. Huh?
Well, that was okay with him. He liked it that way. Did you put that motor in there?
No, this came stock with a 427 in it.
Wow.
So this is a 63.5 R code, and there's only like 77 copies of this thing left in existence.
Is that right?
Yeah, they made, you know, tens of thousands of 63 Fords.
Right.
This is a 63.5, came out mid-year, and they made it specifically to run at Daytona. So they had to make at least 500 of them.
Right.
And they made 1,087, and almost all those got made into stock cars back then. So the ones that didn't and survived 50 years besides are very few and far between.
How'd you end up coming across it?
Well, believe it or not, I had one of these. My very first car I bought when I was in high school in Spokane back in 1967. I bought a used one. It was an R-Code 427, identical to this, same XL with the same interior and everything, only somebody had blown up the 427 and put a 390 in it.
Right.
And I moved to Colorado in '68. I'll be damned somebody didn't steal it. And so then I got to racing for about 40 years, and I got done racing. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to look around and see if I can find another one. And I found this one out in Atlanta.
Cast iron headers.
Bruce,
Terry,
how are you?
good.
Well, I should have given you the job. It turned into a big one.
Did it? What did it hurt?
Actually, no, it didn't.
We'll do a little walk around here.
So I pulled the heads off, and of course we got to look at the tilt pan off and found out that...
My goodness, that's a sweetie.
Two 390 rounds, the rest were 427s. So when I saw that, I said, well, let's go ahead and tear it apart.
Oh, this thing is a cream puff. You heard the story. That was nice of him to share that. He's got some nice big meats on it. That's a chrome bumper. My dad had a 63. Wasn't like that, it was a 4-door, just the standard one, but you could lift that car with a bumper jack, and that's what they came with. There wasn't nothing you stuck under the frame. It was a hooked underneath the bumper, and you ratcheted that baby up. Very nice. Oh, there's that 52. I gotta talk to the folks that own that red 52.
So now I know what I got. That's right.
Yeah, looks like we're having a good turnout there. Clouding up too, so that's a good thing.
Oh, we got a Mustang show going on. Looks that way.
Nice supercharged 500. Maybe. It looks pretty factory, don't it? The GT 500 Super Snake. Convertible. Gotta line that baby up exact. Yeah, looks like we got a pretty good show. In spite of the clouds. Look at those interesting clouds.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? A few drops of rain, but you know, by golly, that's glad to see people getting their cars and toys out. Interesting clouds. I always got to take a minute and look up, look around. Easy to get distracted. A lot of people go through life looking at their feet, thinking about their problems. Well, by golly, it's the first day of the rest of our life, and it's another good day. We're still sucking air. Carbureted. May have to get supercharged, but right now I'm normally aspirated. Oh boy. Now this is the way you do it. You start them young.
Boy, you're peeling out.
Yeah, man. Hey, nice flame paint job you got there, buddy.
What do you say?
We're doing lightning. We're gonna try to catch a lightning strike. I should have my lightning truck here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was one. There was one, finally. Well, we took refuge in the Smashburger, and that's hail. Yeah, she's really coming down. There's one of the guy's cars over there in the distance. I think I got a car in the driveway at home with the windows down. Oh well. I'll give this a shot. It's the morning after. Nobody probably gives a hoot, but I couldn't end that Smashburger story the way it did with that rain, man. It really came down. I gotta show you what happened. I had the most amazing ride home. I didn't know if this camera would take the moisture, so I went ahead and made a run for the car. When I was at Smashburger, before we went in, I knew it was starting to rain, so I went ahead and covered the seats up, just kind of laid everything over the seat. So what I did was jumped in the buggy and got underneath that plastic. I thought, heck, I'll just leave it there. And here's something that was funny. Here's a life jacket for the kayak. I had left that at home. I felt a couple times like I might have used it. Here I had this nice insulated camouflage raincoat, and it was at home. I took it out just before I went to Smashburger because I thought, you know, I've been carrying that thing for a year and haven't used it. Extra coats and stuff. It was funny. And I got in the car and I driving down the road, and it was just hammering. I was so glad I had this top because it was started to hail. Luckily, it was on the passenger side blowing in, and I couldn't even see out the window. No windshield wipers, of course. You could see there's water. These air cleaner covers are what you put in a wet vac. Wrap around so you don't you know what it is. And I had those over the air cleaner, and somehow the engine didn't drown. It kept running. And there's a few cars that passed me. I didn't have to get on any major roads. I took a bunch of backside streets, but there would be cars coming the opposite way, and there'd just be a wave of water, and I'd just move my head behind. I'm looking out the side. I couldn't see out the windshield. I'm looking out the side at the yellow stripe, you know, going down the dividing part of the highway there, you know, and using that as an indicator, and I'm like crawling along in third gear, and it was just horrendous. And then when I got home, the Miata was out in the driveway, had the windows about half down, and the Harley was out. Valerie had some of her windows down. The Lightning was out. So I was worried about more and larger hail, and I went ahead and just kind of left the garage door open and figured I'd get as much protection as I could. I couldn't get around back to put the buggy in the trailer because it won't fit with that kayak and the little rack thing on top. So, but I guess the good thing of it all is that we got some way overdue water, and I don't know, remember the Vanderwolf pine? I don't think the water helped. I really should dig this thing up. I was thinking, you know, it'd be fun to just leave the stick up there and put some Christmas tree lights on it or something. I haven't decided how I'm going to deal with that, but it really came down. Of course, there was no power. Well, the power went out too, so when I get home I can't use the garage door opener. It's pounding rain and I'm pushing the button. I have it in the car and the garage door wouldn't open, and so I was soaking wet, and I didn't get the camera out. And then I'm trying to run around the house in the dark looking for flashlights, and batteries are dead, and that was a wake-up call. That was a wake-up call. I need to get back on my little preparedness program, and I've been neglecting so many things, and we sure needed the moisture. God, I sure got, this stuff looks like clover. I treated it with some weed killer. It looks like my gutters got cleaned out. I'm just kind of, first time out this morning doing a little survey and walking around the yard. Oh my, the wind blew hard enough to move that chair. It was now the garden spot is wet enough I could probably turn it over. Let's see what's in the wheelbarrow. Well, that gives you an idea. We haven't had a drop of rain in a month, so that's I suppose we got an inch or so. Heck of a light show. What am I growing in this bucket? Now, I had tomato plants in here last year. Looks like I got a green thumb. I can grow a weed with the best of them. And the back of the trailer was open. My goodness. That was a... Oh well. Let's go get a burrito. driving down the street here, go ahead and piss the neighbors off. You can see all this junk and debris in the street. That tells me we had some serious hail and rain. I remember hitting this last night. Boy, that exhaust is loud. That's just too noisy. I'm gonna go back home and switch the muffler. There's only 3 bolts that hold it on. This is what I call unacceptable behavior at this hour of the morning. I'm liable to get shot. I've already got illegal tickets, or illegal tires. Might as well keep the camera going. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add this or separate it, but it's 7:30 in the morning. Kind of a late start for me, but we had a hell of a night last night with this rainstorm, and some of the neighbors may not approve. It's got a baffle in it, but it's still loud. And right now, it's very hot. Doesn't take long to heat her up. I wanted to see what that sounded like on the video, on the in-car part. Looks like my little brass balls got washed off pretty good from that drive home. Oh, I'm telling you, I've never been in a. That's got to be one of the worst rains I've ever experienced driving in. If I would have been far from home and on the highway, I think I would have pulled over. But just a couple miles or so from home, and what a rip. This thing is so easy to work on. Now that I've said that, I remember these gloves with a hole in them. Seems to me like I got burnt once before doing something. Yow! I found that hole in my glove. You know, I should go in the house and have a cup of coffee and watch somebody else's video and let this son of a bitch cool off. Goodness gracious. That's what I've got to do. You know, when you go through these videos, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm always thinking to myself, you know, well, I better, when you're struggling, you say, well, I better edit that out, and I better edit this out, you know, and in reality, it's kind of the struggles that make some of these videos enjoyable to, I don't know, to know that other people are struggling with the same things that you are. And you know, have you ever made a video and then find out that you didn't have the record button on, or you know, it's usually the one that you really like and you're not tongue-tied and all that sort of stuff, and something's in front of the camera lens, or you forgot to turn it on, or some other silly stuff. Now here's where I get burnt for sure. This one's always tricky, even when it's cold. There we go. Hey, check it out. Hello. Oh, do the screwdriver trick maybe. You ever jam a screwdriver in the back of your nut? That hurts. Maybe the neighbors won't hate me so bad now. Mucho better. Change of plans. I was going to go and see the Burrito Man, but oh boy, it looks pretty crowded here. I thought maybe I'd take a diversion and go over here and sit down and get a burrito. Looks like a lot of people have the same idea. Of course, it's getting later. What is the world coming to? Look at this crap. Please alert your server any food allergies, not ingredients listed on the menu. Contains or may contain raw, undercooked ingredients. Consuming raw or undercooked meats, poultry, seafood, shellfish, eggs may increase risk of foodborne illness. What the hell? Why don't we just take all these lawyers out and hang them? This world is getting worse. I don't care if it's cooked or not. That looks good. Burrito. Oh, that's about the best I can do. It wasn't cheap, but I'm getting 2 meals out of it, so divide that in half. Widow McCoy's. How's that talking about the rainstorm last night? Yep, I was there.